Think about this. Why do so many people, the moment they make a little extra money, rush to buy a new phone, a flashy car, or a designer watch? Now compare that with the Jewish mindset. For centuries, Jewish families, even when they had money, chose to put it into something invisible: education, skills, and knowledge. And here's the secret: that's the real luxury. Because knowledge doesn't lose value, it grows. A car loses half its price in 5 years, but an investment in education can multiply for a lifetime. In this video, we're going to uncover why Jewish people consistently choose education before luxury, and more importantly, how you can apply this principle to build wealth that actually lasts. Stay with me, because once you understand this shift, it will completely change the way you spend and the way you grow rich. Habit number 1, learn first, enjoy later. Most people follow a simple but dangerous cycle: earn to spend to, and if something is left, maybe learn. The Jewish wealth mindset flips that order completely: earn to learn to then spend. This isn't just a financial habit, it's a philosophy. From the time they are children, Jewish kids are taught that money is temporary, but knowledge is permanent. There's an old Jewish saying: if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if knowledge is lost, everything is lost. Think about what that means. If you lose money, you can earn it back. If you lose possessions, you can buy new ones. But if you lack knowledge, if you don't know how to create value, manage risk, or solve problems, you'll lose again and again. That's why when many Jewish families earn extra money, they don't ask, which luxury can we buy? They ask, which skill, school, or book can we invest in? It might be paying for better education for their children. It might be buying professional courses to upgrade skills. It might even be dedicating time and resources to mentorship and community learning. These investments don't look glamorous in the moment. You can't show off a seminar certificate the way you can a designer bag. But 5 years later, the difference is dramatic. Let me paint you a picture. 2 friends both get a $5,000 bonus. One buys a luxury watch. It feels great, he shows it off, gets some compliments. But in a year, it's just another accessory, worth less than when he bought it. The other friend invests the $5,000 into a coding boot camp. At first, there's nothing to brag about, just late nights learning. But within 2 years, that skill lands him a promotion and a salary increase of $20,000 a year. Over 10 years, that decision is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the Jewish logic. Spend money on things that multiply your value, not on things that fade. And here's how you can apply it. Before every major purchase, pause and ask, is this luxury or is this learning? If it's a luxury, it will give you pleasure now, but fade quickly. If it's learning, it might feel boring now, but it will pay you back for decades. Skills like negotiation, financial literacy, public speaking, sales, or even emotional intelligence are assets no one can take from you. They increase your earning power, your opportunities, and your freedom. Luxury feels good once. Education pays you for life, and that's why Jewish people have always chosen learning before luxury. Habit number 2, knowledge is the most durable asset. Here's the second principle. Knowledge is the only asset that never loses value. Money can be stolen, houses can burn down, markets can collapse, but the knowledge and skills you carry in your mind go wherever you go. That's why Jewish culture treats education not as an expense, but as the ultimate form of wealth. History proves this point again and again. For centuries, Jewish communities were forced to move from country to country, often with little warning. Many times they had to leave behind land, property, and possessions. Everything material was taken from them. And yet they rebuilt. How? Because they still had what no one could take: their education, their training, their skills, their networks. That's why so many Jewish families invested heavily in professions tied to knowledge: law, medicine, finance, education. These are industries where your brain, not your belongings, creates value. Even if you lose everything, your mind can start again. Now compare that to how most people think today. Too many chase physical symbols of wealth, cars, watches, status goods, but those things can be lost in a single economic downturn. If your wealth is only material, you're fragile, but if your wealth is rooted in knowledge, you're resilient. Here's how you can apply this. Start seeing every new skill as a permanent asset. If you learn negotiation, you can use it in every deal for the rest of your life. If you learn financial literacy, you avoid mistakes that drain fortunes. If you learn how to sell, you can create income no matter where you are. And if you learn how to invest wisely, your money grows even when you sleep. Education has compounding returns, just like investing. The earlier you start, the greater the payoff. That's why Jews don't treat books, courses, or training as optional. They treat them as necessities. So here's the challenge. Ask yourself today, what knowledge am I carrying that would survive even if I lost everything else? If the answer feels thin, you've just discovered your next area of investment. Because in the Jewish wealth mindset, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. It's the one form of wealth that survives war, exile, and crisis. And if it can survive all that, imagine how much it can do for you. Habit number 3, education as family legacy. The third principle of the Jewish wealth mindset is this: education isn't just personal, it's generational. For Jewish families, wealth doesn't only mean money in the bank. Real wealth means the values, knowledge, and skills passed down to children. A parent's responsibility is not to leave their kids luxury items, but to leave them the tools to create wealth on their own. That's why for centuries, Jewish parents have prioritized teaching children about money, responsibility, and learning from a young age. While in many households, kids grow up hearing, "Don't worry about money, just study hard and get a job." In Jewish homes, kids are often included in financial conversations. They learn how to budget, how to negotiate, how to think critically about opportunities. There's a reason why, generation after generation, Jewish families have been able to rebuild wealth, even after losing everything. It's because every child inherits not just money, but a mindset. They inherit a respect for education, a love of reading, and a habit of questioning. That inheritance is far more powerful than any physical possession. Let me give you a story. Imagine two fathers. The first father gives his son a luxury car on his 18th birthday. The second father gives his son a library card, sits him down at the dinner table every week to talk about money, and invests in sending him to the best school possible. 10 years later, which son is better equipped to succeed? The car might be gone, but the knowledge remains. Now, how do you apply this principle in your own life? Start treating financial and personal education as a family activity, not a solo project. Talk openly about money with your kids, your spouse, your siblings. Make learning a budget line item. Just like you pay for food or electricity, dedicate a percentage of income every month to books, courses, or training for you and for your family. Instead of asking, "What gift should I give my child?" try asking, "What skill, experience, or knowledge could I give them that would still matter 20 years from now?" Luxury fades, education compounds. And when you make education part of your family legacy, you're not just building your own wealth. You're building a foundation that your children and even your grandchildren can stand on. So let's put it all together. The Jewish wealth mindset teaches us 3 powerful habits. First, always learn before you spend, because education pays dividends long after luxury fades. Second, remember that knowledge is the only asset that no one can take away from you. It survives crisis, and it multiplies with use. And third, make education a family legacy. Don't just build wealth for yourself, build wisdom that will carry your children and grandchildren further than you ever could. The message is simple. Luxury disappears, knowledge compounds. That's why Jewish families continue to grow wealth even through the toughest challenges. So here's my challenge to you. Before your next big purchase, ask yourself, is this money going into something that fades or something that grows? Choose growth, choose learning. choose to invest in yourself. If this video gave you a new way to think about wealth, hit like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how different cultures build prosperity. And in the next video, we'll dive into another mindset that might surprise you even more.